Okay, good afternoon everyone, all the BIM awardees and Pak Gustira. Good afternoon juga to Miss Lenny. And today I'm very happy to meet you. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Novi from ICAN Education, and today I'm not alone. I'm accompanied by Miss Anastasia from ICAN as well, who maybe later on will assist your applications to University of Sydney or other universities. So thank you everyone for the time, and also Pak Gustira already arranging this session. So really appreciate that. So I think the first session will be conducted by Miss Lenny, who is currently Senior Country Officer Indonesia, International Recruitment from the University of Sydney. So Miss Lenny will introduce about study at Australia's first university. And after that, the session will be introduced by me, how ICAN can assist you in terms of the application process. And after that, we can have Q&A sessions. So without further ado, I'm handing over to Miss Lenny. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Novi. It is really pleasure to meet you. If I already met you, it is nice to see you again because I see some of the names that actually join our winter course. But if this is the first time that I met you, nice to meet you all. So today I will give you a little bit brief of information, but please take it more like as a casual session. So if you want to have questions in the middle of my presentation, feel free to do that. You can just put it in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, you can do that. But a little bit of introduction of University of Sydney in Indonesia. I'm actually not alone. So in the Indonesian team, we actually have Rico and also Muraya. Me and Rico is based in Jakarta, while Muraya is based in Semarang. So if you're in Semarang and you need also assistant, you will be more likely to meet with Muraya. But in terms of Jabodetabek area, you will usually meet with me and Rico. And because your goal will be more likely to study abroad, so I just want to give you some of the popular reason why students are going to study abroad. So for example, if you want to see the world, you want to learn new cultures, find more better qualities for education or career, and also find interest, but you don't have to worry. There are all the reason if you want to study in Australia. So you can get all these benefits if you study in Australia, especially in Sydney. So I'll cover one by one, especially if you want to see the world. In Sydney City, it is known as one of the world friendliest city in the world, and also the top most five most livable cities. As you can see, we have our distinguished opera house, but the opera house itself is not only the icon for Sydney, but it is already been the icon for Australia. And in terms of the proximity, if you consider the countries, Australia is close to Indonesia. We even have a direct flight from Jakarta to Sydney. It's only like 6 to 7 hours, so it's really close. So even if you want to have your holiday during your study, for example, during your bachelor degree, you can always come back to Indonesia for your holiday, or the other way around. So for example, your parents want to visit you, it will not be too far from Indonesia, so that will be a perks for you. And talking about seeing new things, in Sydney City we have a lot of things to offer, from magnificent beaches. We also have national parks. If you like greeneries, there are a lot of places to do a walk inside the national park as well. And if you want to taste different season, Sydney has 4 seasons, so from spring then to winter, but it is the other way around. So if you go to Europe, or for example US or UK, usually you will have like winter and Christmas with winter, but with us, our Christmas is in summer. Okay, so just like Servin already taste our winter course, while the other group of students, for example, if you taste the summer course during June or July, we will have our winter break. So if you want to taste snow, you can also do that, but it is not actually inside the city. But if you want to see the snow, you have to go, for example, to Blue Mountains or to nearest mountain, but it is not snowy in the city. So you still have a taste of winter season. But if you want to really do ski, for example, or to see the snow, you have to make a little bit of effort to see outside the town. And if you want to learn new cultures, Sydney is very diverse. In fact, it's only 17% people that in Sydney that it actually born in Australia. Yeah, the rest of the citizen or like people that stay in Sydney is actually born outside Australia. Yeah, and in terms of the number of students, we have a lot of students. We have 70,000 students, but only 25% international. So the rest of the student will be local Australian student. So you will join a community of local students as well. So it's not only about international students. Of course, we have a lot of Indonesian students as well, but they are all spread around. So there will be students that study, for example, under business faculty. Other students will learn under engineering faculty or even science. So we have a lot of nationalities for our student bodies. So that will be one of your experience as well to connect with Australian students and international students. And if you're looking for better education qualities, University of Sydney is the first Australia university in the world. We are ranked top 20. Currently, we are ranked 18 in the world, and in the state of New South Wales, we are ranked the first. And if you ever notice a logo of this Group of Eight Australia, so Group of Eight Australia is top 8 research intensive universities in Australia. Like in US, you have Ivy League, in UK, you have Russell Group, but in Australia, we call it Group of Eight, and USyd is one of the Group of Eight as well. If you're looking at top facilities, we have a lot of libraries. We have also research facilities. So if you see our main building, which is quadrangle, and you can also see from the video of the campus tour, the campus is not only but the sandstone building, but we also have new state-to-the-art facilities for the other faculty. Like for example, we have new museum, we have it Chow Chak Wing Museum, and we also have new facilities like Susan Wakil Building. If you learn science, health, medicine, you will most likely have the lecture over here. And we also have new engineering building. So in the video, if you see, the building has not been finished in the video, but it is actually already finished, and you can visit the engineering building. You can see the facilities and the labs on the right side of the slides. And so it will be a combination of like new and modern facilities with the sandstone facilities as well. So with this combination, our campus, it is also recognized as the most beautiful campus in Australia and top 10 in the world. Yeah, so you will taste all that facility. And in terms of the study options, there will be like around 400 study area that you can choose from. So from architecture down to science, we have a lot of options. So I will also cover this one by one soon. But of course, I will not cover all that 400, but I will give you the big picture of like why University of Sydney is different with other university. And if you want to see the complete guide of like what are the options, you can easily ask from ICAN team. We can send you this PDF as well, so you can see what are the options and what is the entry requirement, for example. So we have Sydney undergraduate experience. This curriculum is actually what makes University of Sydney different with other university. So in University of Sydney, we kind of like divided all the majors or all the programs into two big parts. Okay, on the left side, you can see there are majors or like program that really you need accreditation if you want to work on this specific career. For example, if you want to be an engineer in Australia, you have to get accreditation from Engineers Australia. Or for example, you want to be a nurse, you have to get accreditation from nursing bodies. But if you want to learn on things that you want to pursue a career that doesn't really need accreditation or like specific accreditation to do the job, you actually have the option to do mix and match from what we call a share pool. So for example, if you want to learn business, you can take Bachelor of Commerce. Uh, or for example, you really into science, you can take Bachelor of Science, but at the same time, you can take second major from other faculty. It doesn't have to be from science. So let me give you the exact example. So over here, for example, you want to learn about computer science. You choose the Bachelor of Advanced Computing as your first major. So the degree name will be Bachelor Advanced Computing. So in your certificate later on, you will have one degree, Bachelor Advanced Computing, and your first major you can choose from computer science. But at the same time, for example, you really like design as well, and you want to, for example, you want to give your creative sides a chance as well to learn under University of Sydney. You can actually combine it together. So you can combine computer science with design, but it will be still a single degree. So this is not a double degree program, but you can do double major inside this degree, and the duration will be the same. It will be still 4 years. Okay. And give you another example, if you're looking for more like social science, you want to do digital content in the future, you want to choose digital cultures, at the same time you want to combine it with marketing that is coming from business faculty, you can do that. Okay, so you can choose two majors even though it's not coming from the same faculty. And the last will be, for example, science. For example, you want to learn psychological science, at the same time you want to take a minor. So if you ever heard about major and minor, if you take the subject area as a minor, it won't be shown in your certificate. Okay, so if it will be shown if only you choose it as a major. So for example, for Bachelor of Arts, Digital Cultures and Marketing, both of these are majors. Okay, so you can have two options. First one will be double major. The second option will be one major and one minor. Okay, so if you choose it as a minor, it won't show in your certificate, just like this Bachelor Science, Psychological Science. If you choose Writing Studies, for example, as a minor, it won't show in your certificate. And if you're looking at the prospectus, usually you will notice, okay, most of the bachelor are 3 years, but we actually have an option to do advanced studies. So advanced studies is not a double degree, but you can actually have more additional things in this 4th year, including if, for example, you want to do pathway to honors. Okay, so for example, for Bachelor Science, the normal Bachelor Science will be 3 years, but if you choose Bachelor Science and Advanced Studies, your study will be 4 years, and on the 4th year, if your score is eligible to go to honors, then you can do honors as well. So this will be the proof that Bachelor Science and Bachelor Advanced Studies is not a double degree, because if you see in the government website, in the Australian government website, this Bachelor Science and Advanced Studies only give you one qualification. While if you want to do double degree, we have actually double degree as well. For example, Bachelor Engineering and Bachelor Commerce. This one will give you 2 qualifications. So you can check by your own. You don't have to trust me 100%. You can check by your own to see Australian government website and make sure that this is not a double degree program. Okay, so other BIM students that already studied at University of Sydney, usually they will choose bachelor's advanced studies if they want to do something in arts, for example, or like science. Basically, the normal degree that have 3 years duration, you can top it up with Bachelor Advanced Studies to make it 4 years. And honors, obviously, if you want to do honors, you will do independent research project at your final 4th year, and you have to write a thesis at the end of your degree if you want to do the honors. And not only better quality of education, but you also have better chance of career opportunities. So in Australia, with student visa, you are actually allowed to work not only during the study, but you also have the opportunities after graduation. But if you're looking at your experience during your bachelor degree, Sydney have a lot of options of companies. So in Sydney itself, it has 600 multinational companies, big companies like Google, Amazon, most of the foreign banks, and also fintech and startup is actually located in Sydney. If you like Canva in your assignment, Canva headquarters actually is located not too far from central Sydney. So you can have also a chance, for example, to do part-time or internship during your study. So in terms of the location, if you haven't been to Sydney, our location is really close to the central station. So in Sydney, usually you will have like Opera House, Harbour Bridge, but these are all the touristy site. But the center of the city is actually in Central, and from Central to our campus, it's just around like 15 minutes away by walk. If you ride a bus, it's just one bus stop away. So it's really close to everywhere. And you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm not allowed to do part-time, or I'm not allowed to do or to stay after my graduation. We have actually a lot of projects that have been embedded inside the study. So you can do, for example, internship. We have a lot of project as well. So if you choose majors, for example, you choose one major at the end of your degree, usually you will be able to choose projects. So if you choose double major, then you will have two projects as well from two different companies. So that will be one of the added value. So for example, if you want to come back again to Indonesia, you will have all this experience, give you added value if you want to compare yourself with other graduates. And of course, during university life, you can find new interests. We have more than 200 clubs and societies. So from the fun one, for example, you want to do new hobbies, or for example, you want to do Quidditch, you can actually do that. So we even have Quidditch club inside our uni. And obviously for Indonesian students, most of them will join PPIA, Persatuan Pelajar Indonesia Australia. So for example, you want to find friends, these club and societies will be a good chance to build your network, but to also give you more experience if you join into the committee. Now, talking about the application, Australia in general, they will have several intake. But for University of Sydney, we have two intake. We have semester 2 in July and semester 1 in February. And for international students, our offer are actually on rolling basis. So we don't really have like a hard deadlines, if I would say, but you can apply, for example, in January and then get your offer between 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so you don't have to wait until the end of the deadline, but you can apply as soon as you have the document. I'm sure we have several qualification from Taman Science student, but if you're doing IB, we can accept your IB diploma final grades. These are the cutoff. So for example, Bachelor of Economics, it is only 31. But if you want to apply with your prediction, you can actually do that. Okay, so we accept predicted grades, but it has to be 3 points higher. Okay, so for example, for economics, if the final is stated as 31, then your predicted gets it has to be 34. Okay, so you just have to add 3 more points, including the bonus point like TOK, EE, and CAS. Okay, so once your predicted met with our plus 3 point rules, then you can get unconditional offer already. Okay, if you study A levels, we usually convert the score of A levels, which is alphabet usually, to be a score. So for example, A star is a 6, A is a 5, B is a 4, and so on. So if you want to go for Bachelor Advanced Computing, for example, and you take 3 subjects, then we will need 15 points. 15 points will be equivalent to AAA, for example. But if you take 4 points, 4 subjects, for example, you need 16 points, meaning to say you need to get at least BBB. Okay, straight B. Okay. Same with IB, we also be able to accept predicted A levels, but for the predicted score, it will depend on the subjects that you're taking. So for example, if you take only 3 subjects, then you have to add plus 2 points. If you take 4 subjects, then we have to add 3 points. So it depends of the number of the subject that you take. Some degree, they will have different cutoff. For example, for commerce, 3 subjects require 16 points, but 4 subjects require different points, which is 18. But for other degree, like Bachelor of Engineering, 3 points or 4 points, it will be the same entry requirement. So for this kind of degree, it actually gives you more opportunities if you have 4 subjects. And the last qualification, I would say SAT. Most of you will do SAT. So even if you're coming from international high school, you want to top up your score with SAT, you can do that. But from a national high school student, usually you will do SAT. But SAT cannot be standalone. It has to be accompanied with IELTS. So for example, you want to do advanced computing, then you have to get SAT 1270 plus IELTS overall 6.5 with each band minimum of 6.0. Okay, so it has to be both. And for SAT, you can start apply once you have your SAT and IELTS ready, but you have to make sure that you finish your high school, because not only SAT and IELTS, we also will ask you to provide a high school completion letter for you to get unconditional offer. So once you have these 2 documents, then again you can join our July intake. University of Sydney is lucky enough. We have the chance to get bring some of the BIM students to our winter course. So this is the one in 2023. But we also have this year 2024 some of the BIM students. Maybe you will recognize some of the face over here. But the good thing about University of Sydney is we want to help you to build your community as well. So in this program, for example, we connect students from BIM with the current students that we have. So the current students also BIM awardee. So you can have the opportunity to connect with your seniors as well. In the application, not only the qualification, but we will also ask you to do a personal statement. So make sure you, during the holiday, for example, if you want to do this personal statement as part of your application, please, you can ask for the template, or you can just take a screenshot of this, download the template, and then fill out all 3 questions. We will just ask you to tell us about yourself, why you want to apply to use it, and what do you want to achieve in the future. So after you finish your personal statement, you submit it together with your qualification or with your score, we will give you free application fee. So you don't have to pay for any application fee. You just have to submit this document to ICAN education team, for example, and then they will assist you with the application. Just for your info, we also have 100% tuition fee scholarship. So it is called as Sydney International Undergraduate Academic Excellence Scholarship. I know it's a long name, but basically this is the scholarship for students with academic excellence result. So as you can see, the SAT minimum that we will ask is 1570. But if you have score that above this, you can also apply for the scholarship, and this will give you 100% tuition fee, but not with the living cost. Okay, so in case you want to consider other scholarship, yes, we do have 100% scholarship as well. And other scholarship will be more like partial scholarship from the faculty, for example, but it will be based on academic merit. Again, if you do SAT, then it will be based on your SAT score. I think that's all from me. So I will pass the floor back to Miss Novi from ICAN. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Miss Leni, for the general presentation. So I think I'll just be quick before we start Q&A. So I just want to introduce how ICAN Education can assist you in terms of the process, to study in overseas. Let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen now? Good? Okay, so let's start. Okay, so after you heard from presentations from Miss Lenny about the University of Sydney. So now, how is the process to apply to University of Sydney and how ICAN can assist you? So just a little bit introduction about ICAN education. For you who may not have heard about ICAN education, so basically we are already 13 plus years of expertise in terms of the international education industry. At the moment, yes, we have invited Ms. Lenny from University of Sydney, but just in case if you have considered other universities as well, maybe, I don't know, some of you maybe can be afraid you are not being accepted to use it. But if you think of others, we have other 300 plus universities partner that you can consider of. And besides that, we also have 15 plus branches. So we have from 20 plus countries that we can assist you in terms of the application process. So this is just example how our offices like. So we are from Java and then Sumatra, Kalimantan, we all have offices. So around, at the moment, we have 16 offices, including Surabaya, the new office. So our head office is currently in Gading Serpong. And then we also have like Pluit Village, Kelapa Gading. For you who may need another further consultations, feel free to contact us in the, maybe with Tata or even in the respective office. And then a little bit highlight about countries that we represent. For example, today we introduce you for Australian universities, but if let's say you consider other universities in other countries, feel free, Pak Gustira can also let me know and we can arrange other sessions with other universities. So we have Singapore, we have China, we have US, we have Canada, and we also have Singapore and Malaysia and Europe. So there are a lot that I can mention here. That I cannot mention here, but we have many more of institutions. So why do you think that you need to trust us in terms of the application process to study in overseas? So for example, today we have invited University of Sydney because we are official partner of the University of Sydney. So that means you guys are being looked after by the safe and trusted education counselors, right? Who will guide you to achieve your dream to study in overseas. And as well, our services is complete. So from end to end, from start until end, we don't just leave you until the applications. Even we still like in contact with some of the BIM awardees previously, and hopefully they're also enjoying it. And yes, for example, Ms. Lenny already mentioned University of Sydney also have other BIM students who have already started the study. And to make sure this is also being curated process, so we are guiding you. So we are not just like, okay, you apply to us and then we just leave it to you. So we give all the process to make you streamline and also be quick. So this is just a little bit about our services. Of course, like for today, if let's say you still do not know what your question is, and if let's say you want to ask questions after the session, yes, you still, of course, do counseling with us, or we can also invite other session as well, like more private session with Miss Lenny or other University of Sydney team. And after that, if let's say you already know about what university that you want to study and what course, then you start to complete your documents and we will assist you in terms of the university applications. And after that, then we will assist you in terms of the student visa assistance. And the most important thing, like for example, like most under 18 students also very confused about in terms of the guardianship arrangement. We also assist you with that. And if let's say you guys need assistance in terms of accommodation booking, because I know, for example, like Sydney is very popular place and accommodation is very easy, fully booked. Yeah, so that's why we will also give recommendation about the accommodation booking. And if let's say everything's already, your student visa already been approved, then the pre-departure briefing either from the university itself or from ICAN can also give it to you. And I know maybe this is not applied to BIM students, but if let's say like our services is also including English preparation if it's needed. So this is just to let you know in terms of the application process step by step. As Ms. Lenny mentioned, if let's say you guys already ready with the documents, then collect the documents, give it to us through Tata. who is attending today too. And then if all the documents already collected and we can start to apply, if let's say everything's already complete, then the offer letter can be issued. So either it's conditional letter of offer, that means there is still some conditions that you guys still need to submit. But if let's say everything's already completed, then the full offer letter or unconditional offer letter is will be issued by the university. Please be advised that university sometimes may take longer in terms of the application process. So that's why Ms. Leni also mentioned about 4 until 8 weeks, yeah, for the application process. And if everything's already good, unconditional offer, then we can start to do the payment. I know for BIM, you have the letter of guarantee and letter of sponsorship. Then later on, this will be submitted through us, and then we will inform the University of Sydney or the university about this letter, which after that, the university will issue, for example, in Australia, conditional COE, confirmation of enrollment. So if we have the COE, we can start to apply the student visa application for this one. And while we are waiting for the student visa outcome, then we also need to arrange the accommodation arrangement together while we are waiting this. So by the time your student visa already been approved, then the accommodation is also ready. And then we just need to do the pre-departure briefing and you guys can, ready to go to the university. So just last one, this is, for example, our clients, student and parents testimonial that because we are in already 13 years plus in the industry, so there are a lot of clients that we serve. And this is, for example, the university partner testimonials that how they think ICAN education services. And as well as we also go to high school, some high school testimonial also there. So maybe like one of you maybe already been in this high school. And if let's say you have further questions, please feel free, please do not hesitate to contact us. So we are very happy to, to serve every one of you. So you guys can also can study in your dream university. So thank you for your attention. Now I think I can stop share the presentations and now we go to Q&A session. Hopefully the session will be useful for all of you. Thank you. Maybe I ask Pak Gustira to lead, perhaps.
Okay, thank you, Miss Leni and Miss Novi for the beautiful presentation. And it's very, very informative. And it will also help some of the students to understand more deeply. Even one of the students asked me, perhaps they're too shy to ask directly. Basically, they're asking if they apply this year, can they be admitted in July next year?
Yes. So for example, the deferral, we call it the deferral process. So, oh, you mean like you want to go for July 2025 or July 2026? Can I
But
confirm on 25? Okay. Yeah, you
July
can actually
2025.
Yeah, you can actually go apply now. So if, for example, you have your SAT, you have your IELTS, you can apply now for July 2025. Um, it will be unconditional offer already, as long as you send the SAT score from the College Board website, and your school can also provide a high school completion letter. I believe some of the school will not be able to provide it this year. They will only provide it in the early January. So maybe after your break, you can ask for your high school help to provide the high school completion letter, and then we will be able to issue the unconditional offer. Without the high school completion letter, it will be still conditional offer.
right, okay. I hope that answers your question for those who asking.
Yes, by the way, if you want to DM us, feel free to do so too. Or if let's say you want to put in the chat box, please feel free. Yeah. Or you can open mic, so it's up to you guys. What is the convenient way? And maybe Tata, if you don't mind to put your contact number and as well as the email. So later on, if let's say they have further questions, where can they ask? Yeah, please put in the chat box. Thank you, Ta.
Yeah, another one. Unfortunately, this one is also a direct message. If we apply early next year, presumably January, February, can they also be admitted in July next year?
Yes.
Yes.
So of course, most of the degree it's actually available in July 2025. There are only several degrees that not available in July intake. So for example, Bachelor of Architecture, it is only available in February intake for that one. But the most of the other courses, you name it, advanced computing, or science, commerce, arts, they are all in available in July intake. So yes, you can go for July intake. So we will not wait until you have your ijazah, because we know that ijazah will actually release around June or July, and it will be too late already if we want to wait until your ijazah is released. So that's why we ask the help of the high school. So that's why we need the high school completion letter, just to make sure that okay, you are in your year 12, this is your final semester. We can see your SAT score already. If your SAT score meet with our minimum requirement, yes, we will give you the unconditional offer.
Okay, thank you. And another question, when
I
can we
think Pak
start?
Gustira, sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt. I
Okay.
mean, if I may add on, from Miss Lenny information, I think it is advisable to apply as early as possible,
Mhm.
because I do understand some courses may be easily full. Yeah, Miss Lenny, am I correct?
Yes, so some of the courses are
Miss
really
Lenny,
really
freezing.
popular.
Sorry.
So that's why it is the best option will be to apply as early as possible. And then you can, for example, accept the offer once you get your announcement from BIM as well.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, Pak Gustira. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
continue. Thank you.
The next question is, when can we start applying through ICAN? I believe you already answered that question moments ago. As soon as possible, yeah. So I believe we already have some contacts with ICAN through some of our students, like Chandra here. Maybe we can expand that group members to include other students as well, so they can gain, yeah, better insights about how to apply as soon as possible.
Yes, Pak Gustira, maybe if I may ask,
Mm.
I know previously in the previous batch we do have a WhatsApp group
Right.
with the students. If let's say you allow that, maybe we can also make another WhatsApp group. So if let's say they have further questions, also include me and Tata, then we can also assist in that.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So regarding the double major, like will that appear in the certificate of complete?
Yes. So
Yeah.
if you choose it as a major,
Mhm.
it will show in your test number or your ijazah. So
Oh, okay.
let me just share the screen.
But to be clear, it will not appear as your title, right?
No, so your title will be still one title. So for example, the title will be still Bachelor of Advanced Computing,
Mm-hmm.
but you have something in bracket.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
bracket will be your majors. So for example, you choose computer science and marketing, for example. Okay, so it will appear in bracket, but because it's on your certificate, you can kind of like tell a story for your future employer. Okay, I'm actually different with other computer science graduate. I actually have the second skill. So it will give you more flexibility. For example, we know that high school students sometimes they change their mind. For example, they really into IT now, but when they study in the university, they can find new interests, for example, or they can find new opportunities for their future. So this second major actually allow you to do that. And for example, in the future, if you want to shift your career, you can actually do this with the foundation of the second major. because in the second major we will give you the project as well. So if you choose computer science and marketing, for example, then there will be projects in computer science. So you will be given a company, you have to solve um, the brief from the company. And if you choose marketing, there will be also a project for marketing in your third year. Okay, so if you have double major, it will give you kind of like a connection to industry in Australia. So you have the opportunity to have experience on like how to work in Australia or like with multinational companies. That actually tie to a question that been sent to me privately. The question from the student is about part-time job opportunities. For part-time jobs, it will be depend on this scholarship agreement as well. So in Australia, generally, student will be allowed to do part-time for 48 hours per 2 weeks, and you can work anywhere you want. Okay, so some other countries with student visa, you cannot work at all. Some other countries, you are allowed to work, but only inside the campus. In Australia, you can work anywhere you want, as long as you not breach the hours limitation, which is the 48 hours per 2 weeks. Okay, but if your sponsor doesn't allow you to work, you don't have to worry. The one that I mentioned, some of the industry experience is actually embedded inside the study. So for example, you want to do internship, we have internship unit. Okay, we have internship subject. Or for example, you want to do projects with companies, projects is compulsory on your third year. So even if you're not allowed to do part-time jobs or like any paid jobs during your study, you can actually have experience with the industry as long as you choose the unit or the subject. Okay, so let me show you the subject from the list. So for example, here we have capstone project from the major. So if you choose to major, you will have 2 projects. You can also ask with the students from our winter course, even during those duration, the group was able to go to Deloitte as our one of the company partners. So they have the session with Deloitte, so you know how the office looks like, what is the consulting future, for example. So we have all these unit or like subject that you can select, so you can also have the experience to do connect with the industry in Australia.
Okay. Thank you. That's really, really good to know, because as I know, some of the students have already asked, and this has become quite a conundrum in our part, because the students here from the Taman Science are bound to take the STEM majors. So having this opportunity to take double major, especially in design or arts, I know some of you are really, really keen on applying to those majors. You can do it. You can do it here, and it's accepted by BIM,
Yes,
because
it is
in your
accepted
study.
by BIM, and we have already like current student that is studying 2 majors. For example, like in IT, we have a lot of BIM students studying in IT. So for example, under advanced computing, you can choose computer science with business analytic, for example, or with data science, or even with entrepreneurship. So there are a lot of options for you to choose from. So I'll just share the slides in case you want to see what are the lists. This will be the list of the major. So we call it share pool. So essentially, once you choose your degree, your first major will be coming from your faculties, and the second major can be from anywhere from this list. Okay, so for example, you want to build something like Spotify, you can combine computer science with music. Okay, or for example, you want to do sustainability career in the future, but you still not sure whether you want to do NGO or like more like private companies, for example. So you can combine, for example, sustainability with HR or with finance or with economics. Any 2 majors that is coming from this list, you can combine it together.
Okay. So there you go, guys.
Yeah, and I think not every university is doing this thing. So
True,
other
true, true.
university, they might do major and minor, you can do double major, but only from the same area. But with us, it is quite flexible, where you can choose like two majors from two totally different area.
Okay. All right. So, mm, any more questions? Yeah, I think this is very interesting, this double major.
Hmm.
Yes, that is true. Not all universities are doing that.
Yeah,
So
confirmed by ICAN, who is representing more universities. Yeah.
correct, correct. Yeah, so I think there is no DM to me or Miss Lenny. I think
Mhm.
maybe to you, sir. No other?
Uh, no other.
Okay, maybe if I may know, even though there is Miss Lenny here, it's okay. I mean, I just want to know, like, besides maybe Australia, are there anyone here maybe thinking for other countries besides Australia? It's okay. Just maybe give thumbs up. It's also okay. So I know with the emoticon. Or everyone is thinking Australia. Okay. Devina, Dava, thank you so much.
Definitely not
Besides
only
Australia?
Australia. For BIM students, I think you have a lot of options.
Yes.
So I think it is also safe for you to apply to several universities, so not only one university, and you can also compare your options.
Yes. So thank you so much. Oh, there is a question, I think, from Fatih. If I'm not wrong, hands up. Like, am
Yeah,
I correct,
okay.
Fatih? You can open mic if you want.
Or
Or maybe Fatih want to do thumbs up, but hands up accidentally.
mm,
Probably. Okay, I think no, yeah.
mm,
All right. Maybe before, I just want to know, like, before you mention not just Australia, maybe put in the chat box what other countries thinking of. It's okay. Put in the chat box this time. What are the university, not the university, maybe the countries consideration. So I know with Pak Gustira, the next one whom we should invite. Am I correct, Pak?
mm.
Because we want to know, hear from you guys first.
Yeah, anyone interested in having more workshops like this? And if I may know, Miss Novi, which universities are you representing in Singapore? Our
At the
only,
moment,
mhm,
yeah, Singapore,
only is,
yeah, we actually do not represent NTU and US
all
because
right,
like they do not, they prefer to apply directly, unfortunately.
right.
That's not just ICAN, other agencies also the same. Oh, there is a question from Devina. Is there an additional charge for placing SAT scores?
Usually for sending a score from College Board, you will have to pay around $17 if you already got your score. But if you haven't got your score or you haven't do the test, the closest SAT test will be in March. So if you nominate the university before you receive the score, it is actually a free option. So you are allowed to send around 4 to 5 universities for free, but only if you already nominate the universities before you got your score. So yes,
Okay.
you can do it for free. So you can make up your mind first, send to several universities. You're allowed to do that, and even if you send because we will need the receipt, right? So if the inside the receipt you there's like several university name, you don't have to worry. We won't blacklist you just because you apply to other university. So yeah, you can attach your receipt. The reason why we also ask the receipt is because Some other students already send the score, but we cannot track it. So with that receipt, we can actually back to our admission team and track your score and make sure that your score, the one that you send from ICAN, for example, is the same score that we receive. So even if you do several times of ACT, we can use that receipt to verify your score.
Thank you. And can they actually apply before getting their SAT result? For example, like can they get conditional SAT score? No, unfortunately. Okay.
No, unfortunately, it has to be. We have to see the score first.
Mhm.
So, for example, you want to apply to Bachelor of Commerce. We need 1350, right? So, if your SAT score is lower than 1350, we cannot process your application. The reason is because we know that it will not go and you will not be receiving any unconditional offer, so we also don't want to waste your effort or your energy. So usually before the application is submitted, we will do a pre-screening. So the screening will come from ICAN team, but it will also come from our Indonesian USIP team, and we want to make sure if you already met with our entry requirement, then it's good. But if it's not meeting with our entry requirement, we can also advise you on like the second plan. For example, like what's the plan B, or like what's really your goal. Can it be achieved with other options? So for example, okay, I really want to do IT, but my score of ACT is not high enough. Then, for example, we can advise you, okay, you can actually learn computer science under Bachelor of Science as a major. So those kind of process, we will need the ACT score for the process. That's why if you're not meeting with our requirement, you don't have to disappoint at first. We will advise you on like what's the plan B, or like what's the backup plan if you really want to do the course.
Okay. All right. And if I may share a screen, we did ask some of the students, or not some, but all of the students a while ago, their which country that they would go to in terms of studying. Here. Now, from here, we can see that there's a huge blue color here that represents Australia. So it shows that most of them would like, a quarter of them would like to go there. And for the major itself, they're keen on taking science, followed by, which one is this? Engineering, technology, and then mathematics. And the other countries, they also want to go to Hong Kong, Singapore, a lot Singapore, I see, American universities, and some others. Here it is.
Thank you for sharing, Pak. I think this is a good insight for us.
Is this, I want to ask, who made this poll? Who made this poll? Is it still valid or?
Yeah, I think most of the other students that apply to us, but also apply to several other countries. I'm surprised Hong Kong in the graphic is quite big,
Very high,
because
yeah.
we expect other countries. Yeah, but I think it's kind of surprise for me, like because Hong Kong is such a big pool, in the BIM students as well.
Same here. I was surprised. I thought the second country would be US besides
US.
Australia. That's my guess.
Yeah, it also came as a surprise to me too. I mean, Singapore, okay, they want to go to NUS, NTU.
Yes,
Yes,
understandable.
yeah. But Hong Kong. And I know some of the students have already done some interviews with Hong Kong universities as well. And I believe some of them also have LOAs from Hong Kong universities. So yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if I may know, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Lenny, maybe from your experience too, that usually Hong Kong also offer scholarships. The reasons why Hong Kong is quite popular in Indonesian students, I think they also offer generous scholarships. Besides, of course, the selective entry requirements. However, I mean, for BIM students, I don't think you guys need to worry, right, in terms of the scholarship, because you guys already got the scholarship. So I think my best advice, yeah, just research first, and then looking at the subjects, whether you guys like it or not. And then you may start to search, I mean, from the which country do you think the best in terms of your study experience, right? I think that's the best advice that we can
I'm sorry, I think you are,
say.
yeah,
Because in terms of the funding, I don't think you guys need to worry, right? Because you are all the smart students.
hopefully.
Mm.
Okay, so after this session, I will directly create that group chat. And yeah, perhaps more students will ask questions there. Perhaps they're too shy.
Yeah, maybe I'll just share also my contact. So in case you have a specific question, for example, you've done your research already regarding the subject or like the major, but you have questions, feel free to contact us. So you can see our mobile number and also our email. But in terms of the slides, I will send it to ICAN team. So later ICAN team will share the slides to you.
Okay. If there are no more questions, I think we can close
Yes.
then. Yeah.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I think we can close the sessions. I have also put my WhatsApp number and my email as well as Tata, but I think the best way is to create a WhatsApp group with Pak Gustira later on. Then feel free to connect with us to assist your university's applications and do further counseling. So, but before that, if I may ask, and if you guys don't mind and have no problem with camera, maybe we can start to see your faces to get to know each other. So who knows, later on it will be, if we already met via Zoom, and then we can come there, it's also we already know. And please open the camera and maybe we can just do a quick photo session. If this is just for our internal file, we don't nearly boarding, yeah. Hello, Esa, ya, Made Esa from Bali. Am I correct?
Yes, miss.
Thank you so much for opening the camera. Say hi, Devina, Dava, Servin. Since Lenny already knows Servin well then, from the winter, yeah.
Because the winter course, you can see the Serfin's picture also in my slide.
Yeah. Do we have others perhaps? We have Chandra. Or maybe if, let's say you guys have internet connections, a bad internet connection, it's okay. You guys don't need to tidy up, it's okay. All right. Hi, Gerard. Is this like from, like they are separated in its location, like in other cities? Yes, yeah. So Devina from where? Where are you now?
From Bali.
Bali. Seva? Seva from where? Oh, have mic, yeah, problem. It seems Seva is looking at us, but
Oh, I'm from Sumatera Utara.
Sumatera
Medan.
Utara. Medan. Horas ya?
Yeah, Medan.
Horas. Okay, I think, yeah, we have already a few of them. Yeah, let's take a picture together. Okay, let me start, yeah. Okay, maybe like this, love. Wow, three, as I have three people there. Okay, 1, 2, cheese. Okay, wait, yeah. Let me see. Okay, all good now. So let's close the session. We wish, not just me and Miss Lenny, I think, thank you very much for the session. We wish a very happy holiday. And then if you guys celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you all too. And if you guys do not celebrate Christmas, have a wonderful time. Happy New Year with family and friends. And perhaps I'll see you again next year. Thank you to Pak Gustira and thank you all for
Thank
your
you.
attention. From Miss Lenny,
Thank
any
you.
other closing session?
Now we just hope the
You want to
best
say?
of the journey for your study. So hopefully this session is useful. If you have more question or concern, please let us know from Pak Gustira or ICAN team or myself. Please, you can just reach out to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
Bye-bye, Pak
Enjoy your
Gustira.
holiday. Thank you,
Bye.
Pak.
Students, see
Thank you,
you.
ICAN.
Thank
Bye.
you.